Hello, everybody. I'm John,
And Justin, of course.
and today we're here at Gore Goblins.
Gore Goblin Central. If you didn't know, we have a gigantic tower in the city.
Absolutely. It's it's a
It's
big
green.
old tower.
It's got blood dripping off of it. We got a
Yeah,
blood fountain.
yeah.
This just sounded like Metalocalypse base camp right now.
Well, it's because they want us to pay taxes. That's
Yeah.
why. Those are all IRS agents.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is our show where we talk about horror movies that we like
Or don't.
and don't, and fucking.
Some we never watched.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't watch this one till this time.
And I also till this time. Well, that's you. Okay, you phrased that weird. I'm sorry. We also talk about other stuff
Yeah.
like music and video games and
Or-
other movies, which is what I'm gonna start this off with, because I had myself a triple feature on Sunday.
Oh.
So Friday I watched the original Maniac. Sunday I watched Oppenheimer. I watched Barbie.
Why?
And then I watched Maniac, the remake. So here we go. I'm going to talk about those two movies real quick. So Oppenheimer is pretty all right. It was very loud. We saw it in IMAX. It
That
was
seems
very
like a
loud.
movie you gotta want to see.
I think most movies are movies that you want to see.
No,
just,
some
what
you
are
can just
talking
watch because
about?
you're bored.
Oh yeah,
But, like,
yeah, most movies are movies that I want to see. I don't know.
I just-
I've never really been a put a movie on in the background kind of guy.
I just remember seeing the trailers and I was like, "This is too over dramatic."
It very much is.
I get they're making a bomb and all, and it defined a part of history, but come on, we
Like-
lived it. We don't need the trailer of a movie for it to be dramatic.
like this whole these stacks of movies that I have are movies that I have not watched that I bought, and they are movies that I want to watch. So most movies are like that. I'm not really a throw a movie on in the background kind of guy. But Oppenheimer's 3 hours long.
Fuck.
But it's Christopher Nolan, and if you know anything about Christopher Nolan, he really likes to make his stuff is like bombastic for whatever reason. So the editing was really good. I thought the music is the best part of the movie, I think. It was also very loud, and like every other Christopher Nolan movie, it really fucking drowns out the dialogue. Which is annoying when Robert Downey Jr. is trying to talk and I can't fucking hear him because of the music. And I'm like, all right, and I'm in an IMAX theater too, so I'm like, okay, this is just loud. so, I mean, it was cool though. The Trinity sequence where they do the test bombing, that was pretty cool. Josh Peck is in charge of pressing a button just in case something goes wrong. So the meme potential for Drake and Josh memes is through the roof just from that one scene alone. And I already saw one on Twitter where it was showing like establishing shots of the test site, and then that little fucking arrow transition where like the green arrow goes across the screen and opens up, and then it's just Josh Peck in the fucking controls. And I was like, God damn it, that's good. So, he's in it, Jack Quaid's in it, everybody's in this fucking movie. Like it was almost like distracting because I just kept recognizing people, and it would take me out of the movie for a little bit. And then I'm like, okay, I can't think of it that way. I have to think of it as like, because everybody was like extremely well cast. Like all the performances were perfect. Like Nolan knows how to cast people, and yeah, everybody was cast very well. But but like somebody would show up and I'd be like, oh, hey, that guy. I'd be like, all right, and then I'd have to like retune my brainwaves to be like, it's not that guy, it's the character, and then I'm like, okay, and it's
See, that's why I couldn't watch Breaking Bad.
that's fair,
I cannot see anything but Hal.
that's fair, I believe I could, yeah, that's fair, but no, like with this, it was very dramatic, but like it didn't feel like it was that long. I don't know. The editing was good. The editing and pacing was good enough to where it was It went by pretty quick. Good movie. I liked Oppenheimer. I liked it a lot. I liked Barbie just as much for completely different reasons. So, Barbie, you got Margot Robbie. She's pretty. I can't help myself.
We all seen Wolf of Wall Street.
And you got Ryan Gosling in it too, who unironically is one of the best acting performances I've seen like all year. He's very good in this movie, and it just makes me sad that we never got a sequel to The Nice Guys, because it's like that kind of character. Ryan Gosling's really good in comedies. He just doesn't ever fucking do them for whatever reason. And that's unfortunate because I liked him a lot in Barbie. It was fun. I don't know. It was a fun movie. I don't know what else to say about it. It was fun. The set design was real cool. There were 2 choreographed dance sequences that I liked because I'm gay. There was a lot of fun stuff in there. The only real problem I had with it was that it's like I don't know. It's like it's like stuck in the middle between being a kids movie and then like for an adults movie, but not like in like a raunchy way. You know what I mean? So like you have like, I would have rather they just kind of went like fully like, oh, this is for grown-ups, you know? I don't know why, but not like in a raunchy way though. Not like to where it's just a bunch of shitty sex jokes, but because you had like grown-up shit and then you also had like kid humor, and it's really rude when that kid humor is juxtaposed with like commentary on a woman's place in society. It's very jarring because it's like, this is going to fly over all of their heads. Like, there's no little girl that's going to hear the word patriarchy and be like, oh, I know what that is. It's not going to, like, what do you, like, just make it for fucking grown-ups. Like, I understand the point is that, oh, you're a little girl, you can do whatever you want. But, like, there's no way to, I mean, you could have dumbed it down, but then it just would have been a kid's movie. And then, you know, I wouldn't have wanted to watch it because then it would have just been a kid's movie. So it's weird that it kind of like sits in the middle there. It's very strange, but I still liked it for what it was. Everybody was pretty good in it. All the Barbies were unique and funny, I guess. I don't know. It was fine. I liked it. I liked both of the movies about the same for completely different reasons, because that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
When you go to some shows.
Operation Oppenheimer or whatever the fuck was a success.
Impending Doom 3.
Yes, it was. It definitely felt that way because you have Oppenheimer where he's just like, I fucking ruined everything. I'm gonna be honest, and then Barbie's just like, y'all ever think about death? and that's just how it was. It was fun. It was fun. It was a fun time at the cinema, as the English say. So I don't even know if the English say that. But anyway, we're here to talk about Maniac and Maniac, 2 similar but also different movies.
One tells you more than the other, but even then it doesn't tell you much.
Yeah. So I guess, like we usually do, we're not really going to go over plot stuff just because, I mean, the plot's kind of similar with both of them, but these movies are more... So, one thing I'll say, they're more character studies than anything, which is not what I was expecting, you know, because Maniac's reputation kind of precedes it in this case. And I was like, oh, it's just going to be like a straightforward slasher with, like, lots of edgy gore that's, you know, at least for the time... and then
that was a pretty tame movie to me.
And then I was like, oh, it's a character study? I was like, that's interesting. Yeah, it wasn't like super gory, but you also got to remember, like, American Psycho got all this controversy when that came out in the year of our Lord 2000, and that one's not even like gory. It's just, I don't know. It's just American Psycho. I don't know what to tell you. It's not that bad. Maniac, though, it's got a couple shots that I can see. We're desensitized, Justin. But if this was the year 1980 and we were like, I don't know, hanging out at a grindhouse theater or at like a midnight showing of a movie and we saw Tom Savini's head explode when it got shot with a shotgun, I think we'd be like, wow, that's nothing I have ever seen before in my life. What the fuck? Like, that's what would have happened. So, for the time, this was pretty, I mean, even the scalping shit was pretty rough for the time. That was 40 years ago. Now it's just like, you seen Hostel? You seen Green Inferno? Come on, like it's not.
Green Inferno's weak too.
You know what, Justin? I don't want you to talk anymore. Anyway, so
No, I just remember Adrian posting.
yeah. Oh, I just saw Green Inferno. Why? Yeah, why did you go see it? What did you think it was about? Like, what? I don't understand that thought. Whatever. We talk shit about your brother, not Adrian. Anyway, so yeah, the first Maniac. I don't know. It's just a character study, which is not what I was expecting. I will say I like the soundtrack a lot. For both of these movies, I like the soundtrack a lot.
Yeah.
But in the first movie, it basically just follows Joe Spinell. That's his character.
His name's Frank.
That's the guy that plays him. I mean, his character's Frank Zito. Yes.
Yeah.
And he's this big brutish man that has evidence of physical abuse on his body, and he's fucking crazy. To put it lightly.
He lives with mannequins. He puts them in his bed.
Yeah, he also staples the scalps of women.
No, that's remake.
Onto those mannequins. Okay, he nails in a
thumbtack.
Yeah, he nails in a thumbtack. Who does that? I'll tell you who. A crazy person. Anyway, that's what he does. And yeah, he like, I don't know. It's like it's almost like he's got like split personality or something, or schizophrenic is another descriptor I saw, because he talks to himself a lot, and like even after that, when he kills that first prostitute, he's like, oh, why couldn't you just let me, why did you have to do this,
He's Gollum, basically.
A little bit, except he doesn't have a silly voice for himself.
Can you imagine if he did?
I would have not liked the movie.
That would have been hilarious.
But he's a tortured soul, and I can't help but feel a little, empathetic for him. But like, he's also a fucking serial killer, so I think that was the point. Fun fact, the guy that directed this movie directed nothing but porn beforehand. And all the extras in the movie, I think including some of the girls that Frank kills, were porn stars. So that's cool. Glad to know that. But yeah, that's, the practical effects were done by Tom Savini. We know him. We love him. He's great. Tom Savini's in the movie, actually, as the boyfriend that gets his head obliterated by a shotgun.
No, he wasn't a boyfriend. He was someone trying to make the girl cheat.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Anyway, he gets his head blown apart. And that was done. So this movie, one thing I'll say that I like about the original more than the remake is that I don't really like, I don't know, I like my horror movies to look grimy. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, the remake looks a little too clean, a little too pristine. There's no film grain. There's no real grunginess to it,
Well, because you're seeing it through his eyes.
Yeah, I know, and I thought about that, but I'm like, yeah, but it would also be cool if, like, I don't know, he sees the world, like, fucked up. That'd just make it better for me. I don't know. But I just don't, like, that's why I don't really like a lot of modern slashers outside of, like, Scream, just because they feel too clean. But Scream isn't, I don't really associate with, like, that grindhouse shit. Like, part of what I like so much about Rob Zombie's Halloween movies is how fucking grungy they look. And not just, like, in set design and everything, but, like, the film grain is evident because he shot that shit in the case of the second one, he shot it on 16 millimeter film, which makes it look like extra, I don't know, grindhouse-y, if you will. And that's one thing I like about the original more than the remake, is that it feels like a movie I shouldn't be watching because it feels like gross. I don't know. But a lot of the film was also shot guerrilla style, which means they didn't have money for permits, which means that they just shot what they shot and then, took off. So for one instance, Tom Savini's head was exploded with a real shotgun, with real live ammunition, in the middle of fucking New York. And he shot. So Tom Savini, as a stand-in for Joe Spinell, jumped on the hood of the car, shot the shotgun, and it launched him off of the hood because Tom Savini's not a big dude, and it launched him off the hood of the car. And Will Lustig, the director, said, I just went up to him. He handed me the shotgun, and he was like, all right, put it in the trunk. Like, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here before the cops show up. And they did. They got out of there before the cops showed up. And they filmed the scene of Joe Spinell killing the woman just in a different car. Later on, they just did that. So that's, that's stuff like that kind of makes me like the movie more just because it's kind of funny how it was made. But this movie was also very controversial for the time because nobody had ever seen a man get his head ripped off before, I guess.
Because people were bitches.
Yeah, usually. That's usually what it boils down to. People are just like, I don't like gore. It's obscene. Why do we have to see it? I don't know. Why are you watching it, bitch? I don't know. What do you want from me? I don't know. It's cool. It's a magic trick. It's fun. And that's what Tom Savini was talking about. He was like, in the script we just had like that he would kill these women and scalp them. He's like, so we would just kind of get together and think of like ways to kill people that would be cool to see. And he said the shotgun head was one of them.
Yeah.
And then Frank getting his head ripped off by his hallucination was another one.
I saw it happen. I just said, just like in Gears of War.
Yeah. Or the better game, God of War 3. Yeah.
No, Gears is better.
Don't lie to me. Anyway, so, yeah, because he gets his head ripped off he kills himself.
Supposedly.
And he imagines, like, all of his mannequins coming to life and, like, fucking ripping him apart and shit. They, like, cut his arm off. And they rip his head off. And I'm like, that's cool. That's cool. That's cathartic. That's good. Because he's a tortured soul. He's got all that guilt. Because he probably blames himself for his mother dying or some shit. I don't know. It's really vague. The first one's really
I thought
vague.
that he killed his mom.
No, I don't think so.
Because when he was choking that first girl out, it kept flashing to like images of his mom.
Was it images of his mom?
Yeah. Because later on, when you see his room, he has a picture of her hung up. And it's that same woman. So I guess it was his mom.
No, it just kept cutting back to the woman.
No, it didn't.
I don't believe you.
It was showing two different faces.
No, that was just because of a fucking lack of continuity. Because I know what you're talking about. Because there would be some shots where her hair was done differently, and I'm like, oh, that's a continuity error.
She had a mole on her face too.
I don't think that's true, Justin.
It's true.
I don't think that might be what they were going for, but that's not how I saw that scene at all. I don't think he killed his mom. He might have. I don't fuck it. It gets vague. I don't know. You could probably read into it that way. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. None of this matters. But he also doesn't really, like, I imagine he would have called her mom or something. I don't know, because he does that later on with that other girl that looks nothing like his mother. Where he's just like, mommy, and he's like humping her before he stabs her in the stomach, because he's like, oh, I'm not going to kill you, I'm just going to keep you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's vague. You can read into it however you want. Anyway, that girl, I don't know why she likes ogreish men. But she does, and she tries the photographer, and she's like, I want to fuck you, I guess.
No,
Anna, and then she almost gets killed. But then that's when Frank goes home and kills himself. And yeah, that's one thing I don't like about this original is the fucking sequel bait where he opens his eyes at the end. I was like, that's stupid. Come on. Like, he's not fucking Jason. He's a fucking dude. Like, just let him die. I don't know. The remake did that, which is cool, I guess. I don't know. So, yeah. What do you have to say about the original Justin?
It's fine. It's nothing special. I can understand how it was a big deal back then. But now, nah. That barely fazed me.
Nothing phases you, Justin. You look at pictures of dead real people.
No, I don't.
You used to.
For research.
Yeah, sure, all right. Yeah, research into fucking
No.
being a poo-poo, I don't know.
Fucking FBI's gonna knock on my door tonight.
They already did. You're just not home right now. So I don't know. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know. I wasn't expecting a character study. But then that let me walk into the remake expecting what it was going to be. But then it still surprised me because I wasn't expecting it to be like from Frank's point of view for the majority of the movie. I was not expecting that. So when that opening scene happened and, it's his eyes watching the girls on the street, or it's like from his point of view, I was like, oh, cool, we're going to open it like this. And then it just stayed that way. And I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this. All right. Because I thought it was going to end with, I will say, there's that part where she gets to her apartment or whatever. The girl gets to her apartment or whatever, and she's like, oh, the power's out on my floor. And then she starts walking to her room, and you just see this very, like it feels like it made me uncomfortable because you could, see him, taking those quick steps to catch up to her. And I was like, ugh. It made me uncomfortable. I didn't like that.
It's like those parts in Chucky when you just see his feet.
Yeah. That's what it was like. And I was like, what the fuck? Oh, I don't like that. And I was talking with Justin beforehand about how that first kill in this one, it's obviously a CG knife when he stabs her under the chin. But then when he scalps her, I was like, oh, it's going to be CG gore. This fucking sucks. But then when I was watching the special features, no, they did it practically. Which is why I was like, why did it look like shit then? Why did it not look good?
Maybe they added more blood to it.
That's probably what it was. They probably just added, they touched it up with visual effects, which is I'm fine with. It's just, it didn't look as good as I wanted it to, for whatever reason. But the rest of the kills are pretty good, effects wise.
Yep.
That Achilles tendon slice made me very bad. I was like, oh, yikes. I don't even react like a normal human being anymore. I react like a fucking Midwestern fucking father. I'm like, oh, yikes. That's rough. That's a no good right there.
You sound Canadian.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you get for watching Letterkenny.
No, that's what I get for watching Fargo. That happened to me, by the way. I watched season 1 of Fargo, and I could not stop talking like that. I could, no matter what I did, I could not stop fucking talking like I was from fucking Fargo. I was like, what is happening to me? I don't like this. What is happening to me? But that's what happens when I see something gory. I'm just like,
wait,
oh, yikes.
Have you ever watched that whole show?
I just watched the first season.
I couldn't get behind the rest of it.
I still have the first season on Blu-ray. Because it's good.
After the whole redo of the movie was done, everything that came after was just kind of boring.
I believe it. I don't know. I didn't watch past season 1. I think I started season 2 and just never finished it. But, yeah, I was like, yikes, that's rough. Her Achilles tendon got fucking
sliced.
Fucking sliced, brother. But yeah, it's the same general plot. It's just that now you get more, I guess, of Frank, which I kind of like. The
remake kind of tries to sympathize him too.
The change of perspective. Well, both of them do, because I felt bad for him in both of them.
I didn't feel bad for him in the other one.
I felt bad for him because I was just like, okay, he's clearly doesn't want to be like this. This sucks for him because he's clearly just wants to not kill people anymore. But it's like a compulsion. It sucks. And then in the remake, it kind of goes harder on that. I know. So
his favorite band was Typo Negative.
Yeah, in both cases. But Alexandre Aja, who directed one of my favorite horror movies, High Tension, and also directed Crawl, which is one of Justin's creature feature picks. He wrote this movie. Him and I think the same guy that he wrote High Tension with. They wrote this movie. It was also interesting, by the way, to see, because when we watched High Tension, I don't remember if I mentioned it on the episode, But that bit where Cecile de France is hiding in the fucking bathroom and the killer's like looking for her. I remember in the commentary they explicitly stated that that was a reference to Maniac. So it was kind of funny to watch 1980 Maniac from 1980 and be like, "Oh, hey, that's the scene that they did the homage to in High Tension. That's cool." Um, and and yeah, and he wrote it. So him and they wrote this, and it was directed by the gas station clerk that gets an axe to the chest in
High Tension.
yeah, the guy that gets an axe to the chest. Hold on a second.
What happened?
I don't know. I got a security alert, but that's besides the point.
Because the FBI is coming.
Shit, it might be at this point. I don't know. But yeah, so High Tension had High Tension had the dude with he directs this movie, which is funny because it took me a second to recognize him, but then so then they make this movie. They decide they're gonna do it completely point of view, which I think is neat.
POV.
I think that's cool. I think that's poggers, if you will.
God no.
So, I think that's neat. I think that's all right. But yeah, so Elijah Wood plays Frank Zito in the remake, and some French girl plays Anna. I don't know. It's Anna. I think her name is like Anna something. Actually,
Oh no.
I don't remember
More like
what her name is.
She's about to be on the ground.
I mean, she was. Anna dies in the remake. It's. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, and the remake like does a better job of explaining their relationship than the original did.
Yeah, because in the original, it's very
They
like,
meet and then they're just together.
yeah, it's very glossed over. In the remake, they like try to like bring them together, and in the special features, they were talking about how like they wanted to do this thing where like it made you feel like, oh well, maybe she can fix him, right? But like deep down that that's not possible. So you're just like waiting for everything to just turn sour. And I was like, yeah, that's how I felt. I was like, God, it like, because again, it's clearly he doesn't want to be like this. He doesn't want to fucking be this person. He's just miserable because he watched his mom get fucking Eiffel Towered or whatever, and he's just can't get over it. And the reason he's
Because he
obsessed,
had to be put in the closet while she did her business.
and the reason he's obsessed with hair is because he used to brush her hair or whatever. So that's like he associates that with human connection, psychological, baby. That's what we like. Psychological shit. That's what we dig. That's what we dog. So I don't know what that means, but that's besides the point. Because but it's the same idea. He kills a bunch of women. I'd say the kills are a little more brutal here.
There's more of them.
Yeah, I thought he was
there was only like what 5 deaths in the first one.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna kill Anna's boyfriend, who just decided to be an asshole for no reason. Just like he's just a dick. Like I didn't understand. Of like, God, what an asshole. Like, I thought he was going to kill him. I'm like, oh, he's going to kill him. He deserves it. And then he's like, no. He's like, I'm not.
Not today.
Not today, Zerg. But yeah, and I was like, okay, that's funny. Because, yeah, he's just like, oh, Anna loves to hang out with her gay friends. And then Elijah Wood's like, I'm not gay. And then he's just like, he's like, huh? And then he goes up and like wipes his hands on him. He's like, good talk. And I'm like, you fucking piece of shit, dude. Like, you're such an asshole for no reason. Dude just came in. I mean, to be fair, Frank was like peeping on this bro. Like, he was peeping on him. And that's no bueno. I would have been like, what are you doing? Like, stop looking at me. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, it's whatever. Anyway, yeah, there's like, but yeah, they like go on like a few. They spend time. I wouldn't call them dates. They just spend time together. It's too soon. I guess we'll never know if Frank was really friend zoned or not, because like obviously she had affection for him, and there was a part where I was like, oh okay, she's like got her backup ready because she knows that her relationship with her current boyfriend's on the fritz.
So fucked up.
And there's that part where, well, I mean, he's an asshole. I don't feel fucking bad
She
for
picked
him.
him.
Yeah, but like, people make mistakes, Justin. I don't give a fuck about that guy.
No, you gotta suffer.
He was an asshole. So it's just like, fuck him. But I'm like, oh, I see what she's doing, because there's that part where she's like, oh, I found the last true romantic. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. I'm like, he likes, just because he likes old horror movies? I fucking guess, dude. Where can I find a cute blonde French girl that likes old horror movies that will actually sit and watch them with me?
In France.
And not necessarily in France. I don't think I want to live in France. Although the riots are probably fun to be a part of. But I don't want to live in France. And they riot over anything over there. They're like, hey, we're gonna make it to where you have to retire at the age of 65 instead of 60.
Fuck
riot,
you.
riot. Oh, we're raging. We're lowering the minimum wage by 1 cent. Riot. Like they riot over everything.
No more croissants.
God bless them, dude. God bless them. Anyway, but yeah, because they go like watch some old horror movie at some like. Also, this takes place in L.A., which is
Instead of New York.
which I thought was interesting. I don't know why they did that. I guess
Does LA have more murders than New York? I think. I don't know.
I do fucking serial killer wise, no. Like I don't. I guess I don't know. Man, whatever. Anyway, so they wanted to put you in the eyes of the serial killer, and they did.
And they did.
Good for them.
It worked.
Yeah, I think it worked. I think I liked the sequel or the sequel. I think I liked the remake a little bit more, just because of that. But anyway, yeah, he tries to go like he has like this. He has like this whole system planned out, you know? Like I figured he was going to kill her boyfriend, and then she's going to be grieving, and then he was going to swoop in like some kind of really fucked up dentist system shit.
That's the plot of Ghost.
But then he kills her agent, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm so fucking sad." And then he's like, "Oh, I'll come hang out with you." And she's like, "No." Like she explicitly tells him, "No, I don't want to bother you. Just stay home." And he's just like, "Oh, no, I'm going to be there. I'll be there." And then he goes over there all the way across town, as he states multiple times, all the way across town to spend time with her in her time of need. And then he gets there, and some little fucking twink is there with her. And he's like, "Oh, I got a national commercial. Ding." You know, he smiles or whatever. And I'm like, oh, he's going to die. And then he walks out. And then, you know, Frank's like massaging her and shit. And she's vibing. She's getting into it. And then she's like, "No, actually, I'm sad." And then he decides to just give away the game. Like, he decides to just be like, "Oh, you can't feel bad. A bunch of people have died." And then she instantly suspects him. And I think her immediate change felt kind of jarring, just because I'm like, you've known this person for a while now. Y'all hang out and shit. And you're just going to immediately think that he's the serial killer just because of one line, when this has been in the paper. This has been in the paper and on the news that somebody's fucking killing women. Like, it was just such a sharp shift that it caught me off guard. I was like, what the fuck? Another thing that bugged me. This doesn't take place in 1980. People have cell phones. So when that one girl is in the parking lot, I saw you on your fucking phone in the subway. Why don't you just call 911? What are you doing? Like, you know this guy's following you. Why do you just act like you have no, like, hope? Bitch, you have a cell phone. Like, that took me out of the movie for a little bit, because I was like, bitch, you have a cell phone. I saw you on your phone. I know you have it. Like, what the fuck? Unless that was a fucking Zune you were playing with. What is this?
She would have had no bars if she tried to use it anyway.
Yeah, well, that I would have been fine with that, because then I would have been like, okay, cliche, but, you know, that makes sense. Fine, whatever, LA sucks, whatever, I don't care. But just her, like, forgetting she has a phone, fuck off. That made me mad. That made me, That made me real mad. But we do get that little Easter egg of him posing up in front of the car reflection and the car paint, and he basically recreates the original poster for the first movie. Another little Easter egg is when he meets that cute redhead girl on the dating site, and then like she's like, "Yeah, you're not what I was expecting," and he's like, "What were you expecting?" And she's like, "Oh, fat, long black hair, kind of greasy, and a face full of like you've had a lot of acne," which she just describes Frank from the original, and I'm like, is that insensitive? Like he's dead. Is that wrong? Is that body shaming? Is that?
Nah, he laughed about it.
He probably would, honestly.
That was before people were too sensitive about jokes.
R.I.P. to a real one. I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
I don't know.
I feel like people have always been sensitive. They just didn't have a platform to say they were upset about it. I don't know, man. Also, all the people that complained that nobody's sensitive, or that everybody's too sensitive now, are in effect complaining, just like the people that they say are too sensitive now. Justin. So I just want to make that clear. That when Ben Shapiro makes a 43-minute review about Barbie, he sounds just like all these fucking quote-unquote snowflakes that he's made a career making fun of. Because, brother, it's a movie about a fucking toy. Who cares? Holy shit. 43 minutes! 43 minutes! Oh, my God.
I just want regular words to not be censored. That's all I want.
Oh, it's a respect thing. We've been over this. We've been over this. It's a respect thing. It's a respect thing.
No.
Doesn't mean I have to respect it, but it's a respect thing. Like, I don't know. It depends on who I'm around, if I'm being real. But that's besides the point. Another thing, I was watching Red Letter Media's video on Oppenheimer, and they, before Oppenheimer came out, there were all these articles from like media websites that were like, "Oh, get ready for extended nudity in Oppenheimer, full frontal." No, you see Florence Pugh's boobs for like 5 minutes, and then you see Cillian Murphy just sitting naked with his legs crossed. But like, that's not full frontal. I didn't see his dick. I was disappointed. But like the whole idea here is that like we treat sex like it's a bad thing when it's a completely natural part of like existing. I don't know, it's weird because that wasn't even like anything explicit. These people would have had a heart attack during Midsummer. Like they would have I think one of the guys at Red Letter Media said, "I can't wait till next summer when everybody's still on strike and nothing's in theaters and they put on like Basic Instinct." He's like, all these fucking Gen Zers are going to have a heart attack because they're seeing nudity on TV. Yeah. He's like, that's stupid. He's like, it's nothing to be like a fucking afraid of. It's whatever. I remember like it's awkward, I guess, if you're watching it with your parents or whatever, but that's like weird because they're your parents. But like, there's nothing wrong with it otherwise. I don't think I've ever been like uncomfortable outside of like when I watched Deadwood with my mom once, and then there was a sex scene. But then all Mom did was joke about it, and I was like, okay, I feel better now. like, because it's not that serious. It's just, it's fucking people playing pretend. Who gives a shit? It's not like you're watching hardcore porn with your fucking family. It's not. Get out of here. It's whatever. Get out of here.
Overly sensitive people.
Anyway, speaking of sex, Frank hallucinates his mom getting like banged in an alleyway. In like what looks to be a very uncomfortable position. Good for her, I guess. But like, nah.
She was getting paid.
She was, yeah, But I don't even think it's sensitivity so much as it is just we stigmatize it, which is dumb. It's like how people, but stigmas change. Like how some men still stigmatize, going to therapy and getting mental help, Justin. So, that's like another thing. Or it's like, it's okay, dude. Fucking go talk to a therapist. You'll feel better. Like spare us from hour-long video essays on YouTube about how a video game affected you or changed your life. Just tell your therapist and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. because that's what happened to me. I talked to my therapist about it, and I was like, you know what? I feel good. I don't have to make a video about this whatever movie or whatever
No,
anymore.
I'm waiting for the explosion.
We do still have the podcast though, but that's just because we like palling around. I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah.
Frank Zito's crazy.
I forgot what the fuck we were even talking
I
about.
don't remember because I went off on a tangent because you said something about oversensitive people, and here we are. Because you know, I don't know, Mexico. That's a country.
I have time blindness.
That's how it be. So does Frank Zito probably.
You need to what the fuck? What's the word?
I don't know, Justin. What is it? Bird?
Accommodate people who can't be on time.
I mean, we could do that. We do that. What are you talking about? Fucking, you know how many meetings I've been punctual for at work, and they're like, let's give it 5 more minutes so everybody can get in. Bitch, you set a time a week in advance, and you're going to make me wait 5 more minutes? I got stuff I got to do. Come on. We already do that. Anyway, so, yeah, Anna turns on Frank pretty quickly.
Yep.
And then, like, Frank knocks her out. And then kidnaps her, and then she wakes up and stabs him with a hand, which is a callback to when she gave him a hand when he was restoring a mannequin.
She should have said, "Let me give you a hand."
That's why you're not a screenwriter, Justin.
Hey, I have good ideas.
That's why you're not a screenwriter, Justin.
I don't write the lines. I can just write what happens.
That's why you're not a... Anyway, so... Yeah, and then, like, she, like, fucking GTA style hijacks a car, almost.
Immediately crashes
She
into the wall.
immediately crashes it, which is a blow to women's driving skills everywhere. And then she just gets fucking thrown out the windshield. I was like, Jesus Christ. That's rough. And then, you know, he scalps her because she's dying. Poor Anna. She deserved so much better than what she got. And then, I don't know. It's something about Alexandra Aja and, like, writing women that are the object of someone else's obsession. Interesting. Like while watching the original Maniac, I was like, oh, I know why Alexandria Aja likes this. I can see it. I could see it. And then I watched the remake, and I'm like, yeah, I could see it. But yeah, so then he scalps her and he puts her on a mannequin with a wedding gown, and then he has a vision where they all literally rip him apart. They like rip his legs off and break his arm and rip his guts out, and they tear his face off, and then he's a mannequin because that's how he sees himself, which is hinted at multiple times in the film, like when he's scrubbing the blood off his hands and his hands turn into little mannequin hands. And then he's in the mirror naked, and then like he's got like a mannequin lower half, dickless as we call it, and yeah, and then he has that vision, and then the SWAT team comes in and just finds him asleep finds him in the closet where he belongs. So
and then he wakes up and smiles at the camera.
I would have broken my Blu-ray disc if that had happened. I would have taken it out, snapped it in half, and thrown it in the garbage. That's what I would have done. Thankfully, that didn't happen. Probably because Alexandre Aja was like, "That's fucking stupid. We're not doing that." So they didn't. Good for them. But yeah, I think the remake's fine. I think the remake's a little better. I feel like
I give it a 7 out of 10.
it does what everything that I want a remake to do, which is present the original themes in an interesting way. I don't want a shot-for-shot remake, you know?
Yeah.
Give me something interesting.
Oh my god, I just remembered that post I showed you and now I'm mad again.
Like Evil Dead. Like Evil Dead's remake. That's good. That's a good reimagining of the original.
Yeah, people, stop hating on that one.
And you know, Mia's awesome. She's literally one of my favorite final girls. It's too bad she's only in one movie. Because I love her. She's great. Jane Levy acts her fucking ass off in that movie. And yeah, it's a real shame that she's just in that one. But yeah, then you got, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is probably a good remake. I don't know. Friday the 13th is fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street is the best of the
sucks.
bunch, though.
No, it doesn't.
As we'll find out later this year
And Child's Play is garbage
when we
too.
finally cover it. See, but at least Child's Play wasn't like the same shit. It was like some stupid technology malfunction bullshit story, a la Westworld. Except Westworld, at least for the first couple seasons, was
disgruntled
interesting.
employee implants bad habits into a robot.
That's what it was.
That's what
That's stupid. I don't. And then it's like, I'm Mark Hamill. Are you? I guess, dude. I don't know. I don't fucking care. You're not Brad Dourif. I don't care. You're not one of the best character actors of our generation. Mark Hamill's fine. I'm just, but Brad Dourif's just better. Yeah, I don't know. I think the original one, if I had seen it in 1980, I probably would have been like, whoa. But now it's just kind of like, okay. Okay. It's kind of how I felt about Friday the 13th, where if Friday the 13th was one of those formative horror movies that I watched, I'd probably feel differently about it. But as it stands now, 40 years later, it's kind of like, all right.
That's
fine. That's fine. The remake's actually kind of interesting. I like the change in perspective and shit. I think it's interesting. Elijah Wood is very good in it. So is Anna. She's pretty good. So I like the remake. I'd probably recommend that one over the original, just because
say watch both.
As much as I like the original's like grindhouse sleazy feel, I think the remake's just a little better. My only real complaint with the remake is just that it feels too clean. I don't know. I don't like. It's like listening to a death metal album that's overproduced, where you can hear everything like clean. I don't want that. I want it to sound like it was recorded in a moldy basement with full of asbestos and shit.
Stop sending me Devin Townsend.
That's what I want. No, Devin Townsend is when you take that and make it bad, because it's that wall of sound shit that I don't like, where it's like, oh, everything's the same fucking volume. There's no dynamics to it. At least even the grungiest death metal records have fucking dynamics, but I digress. My point is that that's my only real issue with the remake. Other than that, it's all right. But what a fun time at the movies.
Yeah.
Watching these two, Oppenheimer and Barbie, all over the course of a weekend. What a whirlwind of emotions. I was gonna watch a movie Saturday night, but I got too high. So that's
you should have watched Transformers.
Why would I waste my money? Is the question I'm
going
to
pose.
You
watch Barbie, but you won't watch Transformers?
Okay, one has Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling.
One has giant robots
both
fighting
being
each other.
hot as shit.
So?
And the other one has giant robots that may or may not be cool.
They are cool.
Says you.
I mean, Optimus is kind of a bitch in this one.
I was gonna say there's nobody fuckable in that movie, but there's like a lot of people that want to fuck RC, like a disturbing amount of people that want to fuck RC, which is the case with anything. I know people that want to fuck xenomorphs. It's
Ugh.
which would kill you, by the way. But
Yeah.
to live and learn, I guess. I don't know. Speaking of live and learn, people want to fuck Sonic too. I don't make the rules, Justin. I'm just saying. There's a lot of fetish art out there.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
If a character exists, there's some nude work of it out there somewhere.
I don't know, but going out like that guy did with Pop Claw, that's yeah. I mean, that's.
Josh be like, I want to go that way.
I don't want to go that way, but I don't think I'd complain. Is what I'm saying. I don't think I'd be upset if it happened, because I'd be like, I'm dead. First of all, so I don't have to worry about anything ever again. Second of all, I don't know. Pop Claw's all right. She looks fine. Too bad she can crush your head, but it's fine. That's fine. Doesn't matter, because serial killers be serial killing. Anyway, now we get to the fun part.
Oh boy.
Especially with the original. So the Blu-ray for 1980, for Maniac 1980, has a whole section where it's just headlines or snippets from reviews talking about how it's the most disgusting film ever made. It is hilarious. I loved it so much. It was pretty funny. But anyway, yeah. Ooh, I'd be eating beans. I haven't eaten beans in a while, actually.
I ate beans the other day.
That's because you're Rorschach. Anyway,
I am. When am I gonna explode?
I don't know. When you become a Nazi, I don't. I think that's the trajectory. You have to be a black and white, very conservative person that refuses to give in on your ideals and then gets killed by a blue man with his dick hanging out. That's the way to go, baby. The blue dong lives on. Anyway, critical reception. Contemporaneous. What a word. Upon its theatrical release, Maniac received numerous unfavorable reviews, with many critics lambasting the film for its depiction of violence. Gene Siskel, the cuck we all know and love, did a TV piece for the CBS affiliate in New York City where he strongly criticized the use of TV kiosks that showed graphically violent and gory scenes from the film outside a theater in Times Square. Who will... all this fucking pearl clutching. Love to see it. He later picked the movie as one of his Dogs of the Week on his show with Roger Ebert, stating that he walked out of the movie after 20 minutes because he felt it could not redeem itself at that point. What a fraud. You always see it through. You always see it through. That way you can shit on it harder. You fucking dummy. Anyway. Vincent Canby of the New York Times wrote, "Good sense, if not heaven, should protect anyone who thinks he likes horror films from wasting a price of admission on a Maniac. A movie that shows how an aging, pot-bellied maniac slices up young women of no great intelligence." Now, that's just disrespectful to sex workers. Because, I don't know, she was trying to make a living. Like, that's not... She was like, I gotta pull one more trick to make rent. I feel bad for her. And then she got fucking got. Horribly, by the way.
Yeah.
Just like the first girl in the remake, who was just she just wanted to see Elijah's Wood, and she did for a little bit. We didn't, but she did, and then it went downhill from there, and then she died, got strangled,
dead.
Yeah, the one part of the movie that reminded me of fucking Halloween was when he slams her against the wall and she's like, "Oh yeah, you gonna get rough?" She's like, "You gonna fuck me?" And all I could think of was fucking Danielle Harris in Halloween when she says you gotta fuck me. I don't know why that delivery makes me laugh, because it just sounds so fucking stupid. I don't know why it makes me laugh every time I think about it. Oh my god, what a great movie! What a great movie!
Never remembered there's somebody out there that thinks Resurrection is the best one.
Yeah. What was the rest of the... Hold on, I'm gonna look at that list. We're gonna take a short detour, ladies and gentlemen, because I gotta remember.
His
Let me
ranking
see.
is horrible.
Man, Justin sure does send me a lot of gay porn. Anyway,
He's lying.
so I'm not.
Yes, he is.
This one's it's a lot of twinks, so he's got
Oh my fucking God.
he knows what he likes. But anyway, best to worst in my opinion, and then he puts a happy sad. Is that a man sweating? I don't know what that emoji is. I don't.
I
use
think it's
Android.
implying he knows people are gonna come for him for this.
I mean, if he's cute, maybe. I don't know.
God.
Anyway, best to
What's wrong with
worst
you?
in my opinion, Resurrection, Halloween 4, Halloween 5, Halloween Original, Halloween 2 Original, Rob Zombie 1, Rob Zombie 2, H2O, Halloween 2018, Season of the Witch, Halloween Ends, and Halloween Kills. Now, Resurrection's fun if you're like, fucking around. I don't think it's the best one though. Halloween 4 is all right. Halloween 5, you know how I feel. Does he even put Halloween 6 on here?
No, I don't think he did.
Then what the fuck?
So it's incomplete.
Maybe he doesn't acknowledge that movie, which I mean we're all better off.
Yeah.
if we don't acknowledge it. Anyway.
Except for one of my friends who loves that one.
Hey, well, you can be silly. Anyway, so for contemporary reviews on Rotten Tomatoes,
Tomato.
Maniac holds a 40% approval rating based on 20 critic reviews, with an average rating of 5.2 out of 10. Stuart Galbraith IV of DVD Talk, what a fucking medieval ass name, said of the film, despite some good direction, a sincere, even daring performance by character actor Joe Spinell. His performance was good, I gotta say that.
Yeah.
Who also co-produced and co-wrote its screenplay. Maniac is alternately repellent and boring, despite the obvious intelligence that went into its making. A low-budget slasher film notable for its extremely graphic splatter effects by Tom Savini, who also appears in the picture. Maniac is mostly a character study, anticipating the much superior, if no less unpleasant, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, which is a movie that I immediately ordered because I need to. That's been on my list for a while, and it's got Michael Rooker as Henry, the serial killer.
Yeah.
Tom Becker of DVD Verdict said that the film is so effective is due in no small part to the performance of Joe Spinell as Frank, the schlubby-looking guy whose darkness overwhelms him. This is not the standard amateurish paint-by-numbers horror villain turn. Spinell creates a fully formed portrait of this monster that goes far beyond the surface. He mutters to himself, talks to mannequins, growls like an animal when stalking his prey, yet he can be charming as well. and while the pairing of Spinell and Monroe as lovers has a definite Beauty and the Beast quality to it, it's not entirely unbelievable. Had Maniac been more of a mainstream film, Spinell might have been remembered as one of the great horror heavies. Rip.
I don't think so.
I mean, he was good in it.
Yeah, he was good in it, but...
The Hollywood Reporter cites the film as something of a grubby touchstone
Grubby.
among genre fans. Film scholar John Kenneth Muir wrote that the film positively oozes sleaze and despair, and that's a compliment. After watching Maniac, you'll want to take a deep breath, maybe even a shower, but you won't have wasted 90 minutes on something that has no meaning, no pulse, and no heart. Jim Harper, in his book Legacy of Blood, a comprehensive guide to slasher movies, praised Spinell's performance, noting it as a centerpiece of the film. His performance and the score, I think, really kind of bring the movie together.
Yeah.
I think those are the best parts of the film, without a doubt.
Because that's all it wants you to pay attention to, because nothing else goes on.
All right, well, Justin's just mean, but that's besides the point. Because Justin has hairy toes. I've seen him.
I've never taken my shoes off here.
That's what you think. Anyway, Maniac 2012.
I'm sleepy.
Yeah, you always are. Has a 53% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, based on 74 reviews, and an average score of 5.08 out of 10.
So it's still scored about the same as the original.
It would be easier to just say 5.1. Interesting. The consensus says, shocking and bloody, Maniac is smarter than your average psychological slasher, but it's often undermined by its excessive gore. See, that's what I don't understand. How does that undermine a picture? How does that...
It's about a fucking killer. What do you expect him to do?
Yeah, like, I don't understand... Like, again, we go back to the sex and movies conversation, where it's like, that's why people didn't like Showgirls, which was a satire of that kind of stuff because of Verhoeven. And it was supposed to be tongue-in-cheek, but everybody was like, okay, but it's like, why does it have to be so much nudity? That's what the movie's about. What do you mean? Like, that's what it is, you fucking goofball. Anyway. Front Row Reviews called it one of the strongest and most beautiful classic horror stories of our generation. Visually and audibly stunning. I have to point out that this was first screened at Cannes, the film festival. So you're going to get a lot of pretentious sounding reviews. Complex Magazine wrote that having seen it, we can confirm that Maniac is an early frontrunner for 2013's best horror movie. Because technically, that's when it came out in like theaters here. The Hollywood Reporter wrote that Wood's forever young face, often an asset in projecting innocence, is here a sign of a man-child emotionally interrupted as he stalks down women and removes their scalps in a rampage that began shortly after the death of his mother. Megan Lemon, who watched the film at the Cannes Film Festival for the Hollywood Reporter, wrote in her review, Wood's limpid, saucer eyes are used here to telegraph unhinged bloodlust and insanity, even if only sporadically, as he plays a sicko with mommy issues who scalps his female victims. Aren't we all sickos with mommy issues, though? The twist, and what helps elevate the nasty, no-holds-barred maniac from the grindhouse to an out-of-competition midnight screening slot in Cannes, is that the entire movie is shot from the killer's POV. We only glimpse Wood, that's poor phrasing, in reflection and in photographs. It's a daring decision, potentially stripping the film of the suspense of not knowing where the killer is and obliquely inviting the audience to... Did they just post this whole fucking review? Inviting the audience to have empathy with him. For the most part, Calfon, which is the name of the director, and cinematographer Maxime Alexandre, who also shot High Tension, pull it off. Oh my god.
Nice.
Although the technique more than once tips over from inventively arty to film school grad pretentious. Slasher movie fans, however, need not be put off by the stylized camera work and arty patina. Bitch, you're calling this
arty
pretentious?
Patina? Yeah, I was going to say, the movie's pretentious and you're using the word patina in something.
Like you're calling this pretentious, and look at how you're writing this fucking essay. This is down and dirty genre filmmaking, and the various slaughters, excruciatingly detailed scalpings, and other atrocities are no less gruesome because of the highfalutin approach. The movie is essentially a sadistic art house bloodbath with opera music and ballet dancers and funky little art galleries. Oh yeah, there was a ballet dancer, wasn't there? I was like, what the fuck is she talking about? There was that woman. Yeah, okay. A reviewer for Sci-Fi Now praised the film's fresh and challenging approach, and said, Calfon's version is arguably a more troubling piece of work than his predecessor by forcing us to see through the eyes of a man who brutally murders women. The issues of voyeurism and misogyny rear their ugly heads before you've even settled in. Maniac is certainly brutal and gory, but it's the manner in which the violence is presented that really turns the stomach. It is unsavory, but powerful trick. See, George is leaving. He's tired of this. Is contrasted by the decision to switch out the grimy nighttime world of 80s New York for the neon landscape of Los Angeles, complete with a superb, synth-heavy soundtrack that makes the film feel more like... I was waiting for this bitch to reference Drive. That feels more like Nicholas Winding reference Drive than anything from the gloomy Platinum Dunes remake stable or the winking throwbacks of the Grindhouse movies. So, Drive is pretty, like, bloody too, but, like, I don't know, that one's... That's the movie where, like, 90% of men in America got their personality from, because Ryan Gosling's this quiet guy that, he's just a driver. He's just a driver. And he fucking stomps a dude's face in. Like, Jesus Christ. Daniel Krupa reviewed the Groupon reviewed the film for the IGN website, calling it violent, gruesome, shocking, and extremely cruel. But also entertaining, darkly amusing, smart, and impeccably well made.
I bet that's exactly how that dude sounds, too.
The first-person point of view filming, he said, is not an idle stylistic flourish, though, since it has a serious impact on how the audience experiences the movie, it's uncomfortable and queasy stuff, but occasionally achieves a kind of weird beauty. A review on the Geeks of Doom website said, Elijah Wood provides a chilling, downright eerie performance as Frank. Even though... Wait, I lost my fucking place. Even though he's seldom on screen, Wood communicates Frank's mental illness by muttering to himself and carrying on conversations with his mannequins. Grunting like a rabid animal as he stalks his prey. While Arna Zeter... I'm going to say that's how you say it. Makes for a compelling, sympathetic, quote, final girl who challenges Wood's Maniac in unconventional ways. Overall, Maniac is a well-made, artistic take on Lustig's guerrilla gore flick that manages to give the viewer the
Gorilla gore.
the requisite blood and brutality while adding some much needed psychological underpinning to the characters and their motivations. There's a lot to appreciate in Cal Fohn's film, a stylish modern day slasher that is deeply disturbing and compelling. The ScreenRant.com review called this film a solid revival of a genre that's gone rather stale in the last decade, and said with its throwback synthesizer score, sustained point of view shots, and shadowy lighting, the preview certainly evokes a sense of gut-churning dread. Wood's acting was praised. Though this isn't the first time Wood has played a serial killer, the trailer makes it clear that this isn't simply a rehash of his wordless, goggle-eyed performance as Kevin in Sin City, with a voice that mixes breathy, genuinely unsettling obsession with a childlike honesty. Wood's interpretation of Frank looks to be a new creature entirely.
Yeah.
I can see that. New Empress magazine criticized the film. Oh well. Can't all be positive. The digital cinematography by Maxime Alexandre uses an annoyingly stylized gloss over a lot of the potential scuzziness. Hey, that's my complaint.
There you go.
Leaving
Someone agrees.
rundown downtown Los Angeles as industrial and neglected, but not forbidding creating an atmosphere reminiscent of a video game. Yeah, the aesthetic choices also make the murders seem unreal and even pixelated, with a blotchy and heightened crimson color accompanying every scalping. Such a pity, then, that the opportunity for a truly horrifying cinematic experience has been botched through odd directional choices by Frank Calhoun and photography that creates style over substance, reducing the impact of a serial killer with so much potential to horrify and disturb us. Audience reaction. Almost done. In the home stretch.
Sucked. No.
Calhoun said that audience members have vomited and fainted.
Oh my God.
And he took the reactions as a compliment, explaining, "We had a screening here in Los Angeles and somebody passed out, which I pat myself on the back for. The movie had to creep on you. It's a different kind of fear. It's more of a nauseating fear." This man's talking like Scarecrow. You really have the opportunity to maybe feel the nausea of committing crime rather than glorifying it just for the aspect of fun and thrill. The audience gets to experience for the first time how sick it is to commit murder. We're certainly not condoning it, but making a real statement about serial killers. I guess, dude. I don't know. Anyway, that's
how sick it is to be a serial killer.
yeah, how fucking cool, bro.
He should have chose a different word.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? Anyway, yeah, Justin, how do you feel about these two movies, huh?
They're fine. They're both worth a watch. If you want to watch something that's pretty gory.
See, now, if you ask somebody in the 80s, they would say Justin enjoyed it because he hates women. And while that is true...
Or that I worship the devil.
That's not the only reason that he likes this movie. Because you can be a misogynist and enjoy a movie for different reasons.
I don't hate women, though.
He says that. But I know him, all right? I've seen him. I've seen him in the store.
What do I do at the store?
I'm not going to tell them. They got to find out for themselves.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, yeah. So they're good. So they're fine.
Yeah, they're fine. I wasn't bored watching them. I did fall asleep watching the remake, but that's because I was tired.
Yeah,
but,
Justin's always tired.
But that doesn't matter. It was still good. And Elijah Wood was actually good, even though I just kept seeing him as Frodo.
Yeah. I mean,
that was just Frodo grown up when he kept the ring.
He had the one true ring that he put on that mannequin's finger.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
This is where he went on the boat at the end of the third movie.
You act like I care about Lord of the Rings. I don't know what you're talking
Somebody
about.
listening will know what I'm talking about, and they'll be like, "Ha, that's funny."
And what if they're not?
Well, then I sit alone in my boat.
Go ahead.
Of knowing so much about Lord of the Rings.
Go ahead and start singing your song about how you're sitting alone in your boat.
I'm alone in a boat. I wish there was a shark.
Yeah, you're almost there.
But he's at the park.
Okay, there we go. Anyway, so all right. They're pretty good. I like the griminess of the original. I kind of wish there was like I wish there was a way to mash these two movies together, like with the griminess of the original,
Do the monster mash.
with the psychological shit of the remake.
Bum 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 bum.
But yeah, it was. I had a good time watching these. Joe Spinell and Elijah Wood were both really good in it, in their respective roles as Frank. And yeah, I think the remake has a bit more of a tragic element to it because of the shit with Anna.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Good.
I guess it's safe to say we recommend these.
Yeah.
So go give them a watch.
Recommended. The original's free on Prime if you have Prime.
But you have to verify that you hate women. That's how I know.
No, you don't.
That's how I know that.
Yeah,
Justin,
everyone who has Amazon Prime has to verify that they hate women.
No, just to watch Maniac.
Just to watch Maniac.
You have to send a picture of your significant other after you beat them.
God, what is wrong with you?
Jesus. I felt bad for that one. Just like as soon as I said it, I felt bad. That's besides the point. Yeah, but no, I bought these on Blu-ray, and I'm pretty happy to have them. The 4K looked pretty good. There were some odd editing choices in one scene where it like froze for a couple seconds. I don't know if that was my disc, but like the music
That
didn't
just
stop.
happens to certain discs.
Yeah,
I'm convinced at this point.
I don't know if that was the disc or if that was the movie.
Because that happens to a bunch of shows that I have on Blu-ray. They all freeze at a certain point.
Oh, well, in that case, it might just be switching layers, but because they're multi-layered discs, But yeah, fun times at the movies. Go see Oppenheimer and Barbie.
And Transformers.
Don't waste your time with Transformers. And watch Maniac.
And so you can watch him put some bodies on the floor. Yeah.
All right, so next week we're looking at Friday the 13th, Part 4.
Part 4.
The final chapter.
Is it though?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't
either.
think it is.
Considering there's 11 of these movies.
But then we start our mix and match,
Mix and match.
where we cover the two most iconic franchises of the 80s at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm talking
Nightmares.
Nightmare on Elm Street, and I'm talking Friday the 13th, baby. Hell yeah, gamers.
Fuck yeah.
We're gonna talk about them and not like a single fucking one.
What are you talking about? I like them.
No, yeah, Justin's favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie is the remake.
No, it is not.
That is his favorite one.
I fucking hate that movie.
He loves it.
I like the originals.
He loves it. He
What?
told me, bro, you don't understand. You just don't have good taste in movies. And I was like, all right.
Well, really, honestly, the only two Nightmare on Elm Street movies I remember, like, completely are the first one and New Nightmare.
I just can't wait to talk about the gay one. That is so
no,
explicitly
he said
gay.
he wasn't trying to make a gay movie.
But it was, though.
It was, but he wasn't trying to make it a gay movie.
Well, that says more about him than anything.
Well, I mean,
So,
he was gay. Is
the
gay.
actor was. The
I thought the
director
director was
wasn't.
too.
No, the director wasn't. The director's just a lost, confused little man.
No, I think he was too.
I mean, he's wearing leather in that one scene in the gay bar, but it doesn't matter. We'll talk about it.
Because I remember watching that documentary about all the movies, and when they got to 2, there was like multiple gay dudes that worked on it.
Yeah, it's a gay icon movie. Freddy's a queer icon. You didn't know? I mean, horror in general is like a very gay subgenre, so I don't know.
You're gay. No.
Yeah, that's how I know. What are you talking about? Anyway, yeah. It's Friday on Elm Street, baby. That's what we're calling this blog.
Friday on Elm Street.
Too bad we're recording on Monday.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so next time, Friday the 13th, the final chapter. And we'll go back to doing one-offs after we're done with that.
Yep. No more random movies for now.
No more Mr. Nice Guy. No more random movies.
They're sick.
The whole thing, I think, is sick. But that's besides the
Dun,
point.
dun, 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 dun.
That's besides the point, okay? Because Slipknot sucks.
You
Anyway.
fucking suck. I'm gonna
Anyway.
throw this fucking mic at you.
Anyway, Korn is better. Everyone knows
Get
it.
the fuck out of here with that shit.
Korn is so much better. Everyone knows it.
Corn
Nothing,
is background music. That's
nothing
it.
but bangers from them. Don't you just love
Like Josh's fucking favorite. What is it? All in the Family.
the one with Fred Durst? Yeah. But nothing's better than Twist, where Jonathan Davis is just kind of yelling into the microphone.
Yeah, that's what he does.
He do be doing that. Anyway, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Follow us on Facebook.
Everywhere, follow us to the grave.
I don't know about all that. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us where you can get your podcasts.
Listen to podcasts while eating Pop-Tarts.
That's something you can do if you want.
'Cause Pop-Tarts are great.
Are they?
I think so.
It's because you hate women. Anyway, see, there's a direct correlation between hating a woman and eating Pop-Tarts.
Oh my God.
Especially,
then I guess a bunch of children hate fucking women.
yeah. Have you met a kid? Have you met a child? Especially a child with an internet connection. Have you met them before? Have you been in a Call of Duty lobby? Like,
Yeah.
do you understand?
I was there in those days.
Yeah,
I remember Modern Warfare 2, the original,
more like Modern Warfare poo, dude.
and then Black Ops 2.
More like Black Ops poo, dude.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really play those online. But anyway, that's our episode. We're looking at final chapter tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
and it's next time.
Next
week.
Monday.
And it totally is the final chapter, guys. I promise.
Yeah, there's only 4 Friday the 13th movies.
I promise.
Even though I already said there's 11.
It's the final one. Jason does not go to space
Yet.
at all.
Or hell.
Ever. Ever. Imagine if Michael Myers was in space, dude.
Halloween in space.
Yeah, we already got the Amityville Horror in space.
That we do.
And we got,
We got Leprechaun in space.
Shark of the Corn.
Sharks of the Corn. Well, that I don't even know if that movie's actually about a shark. Because remember when I read you the description, it said it was about some fucking like rapist dude who uses shark teeth as a weapon. Like,
I don't know, man.
anyways,
Anyway, Friday the 13th, the final one.
Come-
Jason fucking dies. He's dead.
dead.
He's never coming back until part 6. Anyway, so
You mean 5?
no, he's not Jason in 5.
Oh yeah, he's not.
Way to spoil it.
You're the one who spoiled it.
You're the one that woke up today and went to work, so I don't want to hear that from you. Stop sneezing. Anyway, you're scaring George. Anyway, that's all we got for today, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. We're going to go back to the Friday Crystal Lake, baby.
Yeah, don't trust maniacs though.
Ooh.